Hi, I'm Ajane.
And I'm Jackie.
And we are back today with To the Edge of the Sky, Phase 2, Part 2. I'm going to try to get through all of Phase 2 today because it's just the rest of the meetings with the guys. Before we start, I wanted to talk about some of the comments that we had gotten on the other videos. So we had asked everyone to comment below what operatives route they'd want to see, and everyone was talking about not 4. They're basically just like not 4. There were, I think most of the votes are for 0.
Yeah, I think so.
In general, though I think there was a vote for 8 too. I'm still gonna leave the voting open because there's not been that many yet, but eventually at some point I'm just gonna I'm gonna take whatever's leading at the time that I get there, and we're gonna do that one. The thing I wanted to say about 4, it's so funny because a lot of people were like, I love 4, but like everybody loves 4.
Everybody talks about 4. Everybody shows 4 stuff. Everybody 4. It's just 4 is everywhere.
And they were like, his route seems like the most fleshed out. And what's funny to me is a lot of people were like, oh, I feel like it's pushing me to 4. But then some people are like, oh, I feel like the game's pushing me towards 0. So like just both of those characters.
It's funny. It's really funny.
And the funny thing is, I would say that the game is geared towards 0 because at first the initial, when we were doing the first stuff, it was meant to be 0, because that's why the description's you meet a young rookie named 0 or whatever like that, because it was more supposed to be more you were supposed to bond with 0. I mean, I wouldn't say you were supposed to be in a romantic relationship with 0, but you were supposed to bond with 0.
Yeah, at least be friends.
So he was supposed to be your point of contact to relate to because you're new, he's new, and these guys are all really super experienced. Mm-hmm. So if you feel like it's pushing you towards 0, kind of yes, but it's not like it's gonna punish you or anything. And the other routes will be more fleshed out later. It's just it ended up being kind of hard to do because I kind of added in romance after the characters were no longer inspired by BTS.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of make halfway through the plot. Make it work halfway through. Like when we were already on chapter 2 or 3 by that point of 6 or 7. So it was halfway through. I think we kind of took what was there. And I think at the time it had been 4 or 6. Yeah. So it's we ended up having to add stuff
for everybody else.
Yeah. So and then I couldn't make other characters come back. It was just a kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Plot wise. And I just tried to make it work because I didn't want to rush any romances. So I think that's why it might seem less fleshed out for the other characters, because I wanted to take my time and properly introduce those characters' romance later. So yeah. So now we're gonna start.
Okay. So prefacing this, there was a selection, but we accidentally clicked the selection.
Yeah.
So we don't remember which one this one is.
Before dinner? Huh.
Maybe going to the cafeteria?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Maybe. So
we'll see.
We're gonna continue from here. Right. It looks like I still have time before dinner, but I'm exhausted from all the Dr. Park's testing earlier today. I think I'll take a nap first. I change into my sleeping clothes and throw myself onto the bed, lying on my stomach.
Maybe 0.
Maybe. All it takes is my head hitting the soft pillow before I'm out. I groggily open my eyes, not knowing what day or month it is, much less where I am.
One of those hard naps.
Those hard naps where you get lines on your face and stuff.
Yeah, from the folds in the sheet.
I slowly push myself up and rub my eyes, trying to remember.
Who am I?
Right. What's my name? Right. This is Phase, and I took a nap. A nap! I turn to look out the window and see the nighttime sky greet me back. Hey. I grab my phone and look at the time. 9:37 p.m. Ugh! Crap! I overshot dinner by just a little, for sure. If a little was 3 hours. Not to mention I ruined my sleep schedule after only a few days here. Good job, me! Well, I'm wide awake now. I look out at the full moon shining in the sky, mocking me as I try to decide what to do. I shrug. Guess I'll go eat anyway.
Food is food.
Food is food. Getting dressed, I grab my arrow glasses and leave my room. Turning on the overlay on my arrow, I select my destination and head off down the hallway. In the cafeteria now, I order my dinner from a touchscreen, then sit at a table to wait for it. There are a few others here, and I hazard a guess that people eat here 24/7 anyway. I scan the other people here curiously, but most wear the white uniforms of phase researchers. Here and there, some very distinct people stand out with a strong aura, and I bet that they might be other operatives. Other operatives. That feels so weird to think. The operatives look so intense and capable that I wonder for the millionth time if I have a right to be here. That's when I notice someone who looks distinct but has a different feeling from the others. Someone in white. Zero. He looks so alarmed. Someone help him.
He's concerned or something, I think.
Something about him feels naturally more innocent than the others. Thinking back, he felt different from all the Phantom Alpha team that I'd met so far. I find myself curious about why that is and tilt my head. Maybe I should go over and talk to him? Would that be weird? I'm contemplating this when he gets up.
Why does he look so mad?
Determined. He takes his tray to the trash can, empties it, and leaves the cafeteria. Damn, should have moved faster. Order 106! I sigh and stand up to get my food. Maybe next time? Or... Dr. Park said I should get to know all my teammates. Maybe I can find him after dinner. With that thought, I walk over to retrieve my food and finally eat. After dinner, I'm back to wandering the corridors again. This time my destination is set on Zero's location, which is only marked as a relaxation area. I'm not sure why I'm able to see it, but I noticed it blinking nearby when I brought up my
Isn't
map.
it kind of creepy that you always know where your teammates are? Like, can you imagine? Like, what if you you went to the bathroom? Like, what if you go to the bathroom and then you're just like in there for a really long time? You're just thinking about what if
Teammate's
somebody's like,
"Hey yo, you good?
Yeah, it's like really embarrassing.
You good in there?" Just scream. Looks like he's outside. Wonder why he'd be outside at night. Maybe he can't sleep? As I ponder these things, I move through the seemingly endless corridors. Although I've been trying to ignore it for some time, my heart yearns to see something other than these white walls. No, you're a phase operative now. Gotta think like a city dweller. You're the one who chose to stop drifting, after all. My heart doesn't seem to care, though, and it continues to argue with my mind until I reach my destination. Honestly, though, plain white walls like that'll drive anybody crazy.
There's no windows.
Yeah.
Except for any rooms.
I'm surprised when I open the glass doors to what appears to be a rooftop area with gardens. Or several, in fact. The light from inside shines through the glass, giving off a gentle glow in the darkness of the night. I easily spot Zero's white jacket against the dark backdrop in the distance. He's sitting on one of the benches with his hands in his pockets, his posture relaxed. I feel uneasy when I suddenly wonder if it's okay to just go and talk to him.
He looks emo.
Please.
Why is he emo?
I want to kiss his cheek, pat his head.
Don't do that unless you want to give Zero a heart attack.
I mean, maybe he wanted to be alone. Remembering Dr. Park's words, though, gives me strength. Taking my glasses off, I shake my head and begin striding towards him. He glances at me immediately, his large dark eyes shining in the faint light.
His eyes used to be black. But they're blue now.
But they're still on the darker side.
They are dark blue.
Hi. Mind if I sit here? Zero shakes his head and scoots over on the bench.
Oh no,
I
a
sit
girl!
down. I know, it's literally, it's just like, oh no, a girl!
Oh, what am I supposed to do?
I wait for him to start speaking to question why I'm here, but he doesn't. He has no idea what to do right now.
No, he doesn't.
The second stretched on into minutes before I realized that. My plan to chat with him has turned into an awkward silence. Frantic at my social failure, I try to think of something good to say that isn't "tell me your whole life story." So, it's a real nice night for an evening.
That's a Dragon Age reference as well. Dragon Age is a Western RPG. If you haven't played it, there's a scene where so there's this knight chick. Like she's just like a girl who says "bruh," and she's a knight, and she actually was married before, but her husband dies early in the game, unfortunately, because BioWare kills people. BioWare is the developer. Anyway, so eventually you can get, as a side quest, you can get this knight. She's terribly awkward at everything to do with not stabbing. You can get her to go on a date with this guy, this like other guardsman that she really likes. But like you come along on a date to watch, and then like you're like waiting for her opening line. And then she's like, "It's a real nice night for an evening."
Man, that's something I would say. Man.
And the guy laughs. And they eventually do get married and everything if you like follow it through to the end. So like it works out, but like it's just like I was trying to think of what was the most awkward thing to say, and then, so that line from Dragon Age 2 came up.
Like, if they laugh, then you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
you're totally fine.
He happened to be a really nice guy. So.
There we go. Oh gosh, did I really just say that? I feel heat rush to my face at my terrible social skills. But Zero just looks at me and actually gives me a small laugh.
Score.
Yeah. As seeing his bright smile, I relax.
You know what?
The look on his
Zero
face looks really sly.
Yeah, well, I think that's just because his heavy dark eyebrows and his like, but it's actually like he's actually trying to. It's a sad smile, like. That's what it's supposed to be. He can't help his face.
Just hug him.
But what I was gonna say is, we were just talking a lot about Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? And so, like, I was gonna say he reminds me of Zuko.
Oh my gosh.
I never thought about that before, but like when I saw him smile like that, it reminded me of when Aang tells Zuko that you're like real smart.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't care what everyone says about you.
It's crazy.
So it's just like, and also the awkwardness, the general awkwardness. So yeah, that is crazy. And sorry if I cursed anybody who has watched that.
Good. So he has a sense of humor at least.
A great one, actually.
If this had been 4, it might have gone really badly.
I'm pretty sure he would have just been like, heh.
Yeah, 4 just like, heh. Dr. Park told me I should try to get to know you guys. The team, I mean. I saw you in the cafeteria earlier, so I thought I'd come say hi. Zero nods along, then scratches his head. Are you getting used to things? Do you have any questions?
What should we say? When did you come here? Backstory.
One question pops in my mind. When did you come here, Zero? I was a little kid.
Smiles.
Sad smile. 7 years old. Wow, that must have been hard. Yeah.
His eyes look so traumatized.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, war flashbacks.
Yeah.
But I've only been a part of Phantom Alpha for 3 weeks. Oh, so you're new like me? Zero nods and I smile, feeling a little better. I look so skeptical. I guess
I don't know.
He's on the team then. I know you've been at phase longer, but let's help each other out. I held out a hand to Zero and he looked surprised before taking it. He responded a lot faster this time. We shake hands briefly and Zero smiles. I was feeling kind of lonely, so I'm glad you came.
Aw.
Oh, you mean to talk? Zero slowly shakes his head. Why he looks so scared?
The funny, I guess another like developer's note here is the expressions were done, like the expressions were off the old art, and when the artists came and redid the faces and everything, like they interpreted, they saw the expression sheets and then they interpreted it to the new face.
Okay.
But the programming stayed the same. I did not go back through and see if they still worked. Because for the most part they did work, but like there might be some times where the nuance is off a little bit because of the fact that the art literally changed. So I wasn't necessarily looking at that face that you're seeing now. When I was programming, I was looking at off of the old one.
Yeah.
And we got rid of a lot too and just stacked because we had like, I don't know, 30, 40 expressions. And then like some artists were kind of like, I don't want to do all those expressions. And I was like, that's okay. We had a lot of redundant ones. So I was like, some of them ended up being stacked together and just so that it wouldn't be a missing head. So it's complicated, but if those expressions seem off in the earlier parts, that would be why.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes and no. I was sitting out here to collect my thoughts. But I meant to the team. I'm the youngest and newest member, and everyone is so experienced. So it's been hard sometimes. I feel you there. I've been wondering the whole time if they got the right person for the job. I saw your skills. You're good, don't worry. War flashbacks to the future part of the game.
I know, right? She was good. She just, her planning skills are not the best.
Yeah. I smile and lean back, looking at the sky. I can't help but feel a relief from the validation. From hearing it from someone who actually saw me in action. Thanks. After that, we fall silent for the rest of our time together. I think that both of us feel better just having someone who understands.
All right.
Time to explore phase.
Time to explore phase. So, who should we do next?
Let's go to the lounge.
Well, everybody doesn't. Everyone's like, they're not hating on 4, but like everyone's a little 4 tired. So let's go ahead and do 9 first. He doesn't get as much airplay.
Yeah.
in case we don't make it through the next 15 minutes.
True. Another day. Another load of paperwork and educational classes about phase to get through. At least I'm finished now, I think. I hope. I trudged through the endless corridors for what seems like the millionth time this week. It's Friday, but time and phase doesn't even seem to exist because there are no windows. Still, though, I'm determined to relax and take some time
They're
off.
like, listen, you need to be on missions. Why are you even here so much? Why are you complaining about time? You have windows in your room. Stay in your room or go out and do missions.
Windows. Still, though, I'm determined to relax and take some time off. They said I'll start mission training on Monday, so maybe I can go out and explore Olympia this weekend.
This never happens.
Oh my gosh.
Not so far.
Sweet summer child. The thought alone perks me up and I stand a little straighter and pull my slumped shoulders back. Yeah, I should cheer up.
I would
can
say
start
it never
relaxing and get a drink from
happens.
the lounge.
Because it might happen.
It might.
Sorry. It might happen in a book or something like that, but like it doesn't happen in the game. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna get a drink. With that in mind, I set my destination and head off. Ooh, it looks so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how shiny. When I enter the lounge, I'm greeted by a beautiful view of the evening sky outside. It immediately improves my mood.
Windows.
I know. Coming here was definitely the right decision after a tough week.
Okay, but like one of the reasons why I don't really like windows, like people can bust through windows.
People can bust through windows.
But like if you bust into the bar, then you're gonna bust into a bar with a bunch of operatives.
I start to head towards the bar, but then I notice a familiar face sitting at a table. But he's not the only one there. A man in all white sits across from him, and I recognize his uniform as one of the rarely seen administrative staff here. Nine's eyes meet mine briefly, and I immediately turn away towards the bar. Awkward!
Yeah.
I walk over to it and seat myself.
You know, like if he's having like some important official meeting and then he glances up at you with his like striking green eyes and you were just trying to walk in and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, you're just like, oh.
Go the other way.
Don't want to be caught staring like a weirdo. I have to fight the urge to look back as the bartender comes to take my order. I guess they're having a meeting? Or maybe they're just drinking. I can't tell. I order my drink and fall silent, wondering exactly what Nine's role is within the organization. Well, I read in his profile that he's the leader, so I guess he deals with the higher-ups here too. I wouldn't be in Phantom Alpha if it wasn't for Nine vouching for me, but I haven't seen him since that day. My
brain just read that sentence as I wouldn't be in Phantom 9 if it wasn't for Alpha vouching. And when you read it, I was like, no, that's not what it says.
I decide that I have to thank him for what he did for me. For the chance he's given me despite my being a drifter. Maybe I'll go talk to him before I leave. Hey, how are you? I almost jump out of my skin at the gentle voice next to me. I turn to see Nine sliding onto a bar stool next to me. Gosh dang it, Nine. I managed to stammer out a response. I'm fine. Good, really. Jeez, you scared me. Sorry. I'm not very good at stealth, but sometimes I still manage to surprise people. Well, that's alright. I was just thinking of going to talk to you. Really? I nod. Of course. We saw each other when I came in, and you're my leader now.
He's like, oh boy, nobody talks to me of their own free will.
Of their own free will? I should greet you, right? I mean, that's okay? Nine chuckles. Yeah, that's okay. I just thought you might be intimidated or something.
Sad song playing.
Why would I be? Why would I be intimidated? You've been nothing but kind to me. That's a relief to hear. Are people afraid of you usually?
Well, he's like 6 foot something. Has striking green eyes and an imposing, intimidating presence, and has a lot of power within the organization. And also as the leader of the top group of the organization of killer stabs, aka spies. So yes.
Technically, yes, he is in fact intimidating. I'm not intimidated for those reasons. I'm intimidated because tall, attractive guy has 3 button shirts.
I mean, that's probably
shirt
also
buttons,
a reason.
That's the word.
Shirt buttons.
Shirt buttons.
Why does that sound wrong?
Because I was saying button shirts, but like
button
it's only
shirts.
I was only talking about the buttons.
Right. I think that a lot of women would be intimidated in phase due to his
Beauty.
everything.
Everything going on. It's just a lot.
But then like Seven's like a woman that's approached him, and like she also kind of she was ignoring him at first, so he might have been concerned. But he was like, I should go say hi anyway, despite my self insecurities and self hate.
Maybe it's not that they're afraid, but rather that they misunderstand me. I see. Isn't that the reason behind most human conflicts, though? Here it goes. It's coming
I know,
out.
I'm already getting ready for it.
Misunderstanding? Yes. I think about some of the arguments and fights that I've seen in my lifetime. When you cut away all the fluff, yeah, I guess you're right. That's what's left. Misunderstanding. I guess being a leader might be tough, especially if he's always in contact with both phase officials and his teammates.
Foreshadowing.
They may not always understand why he does what he does. I look at 9 and smile. Then let's always make the effort to try and understand each other. 9 looks momentarily surprised before smiling back. I'd like that. The bartender hands me my drink then. 9 orders one for himself, then turns back to me. Oh gosh. Sorry. Something into my face.
Oh.
So how are you doing in phase? Are you getting used to life here? I shrug. I think so. It's not easy, but 9 nods to himself. It's the corridors, right?
This conversation which just haunted me that I wrote. Because people are always like, I love this conversation of the corridors. That's why I love mine. Yeah, like a lot of people over the years have told me they love this particular part a lot.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, I get to read it now. I mean, I already read it. I played the game a lot. But now I get to read it out loud. The corridors? I mean, it's gotta be classes too, and everything else. But since you were a drifter, you probably miss all that freedom. I think about the cold, white, endless corridors all through phase. Yeah, I guess it is. I mean, you're right. It's everything that makes it hard. It's also different from what I'm used to. But I think when I'm traveling through the building is what feels the strangest. All of them look the same, so it almost doesn't feel like you're going anywhere. And there's no windows, so it doesn't even feel like time is passing. Did you see the cherry blossom trees when you came into the city? Huh? I'm confused at the sudden topic change, wondering if I misheard something, but I decided to roll with it. Cherry blossoms? Yeah, I saw them. They were beautiful. Yeah, that's how you know you're really here. Like, really here in Olympia. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I'd never seen them before, but I'd always heard about them. Yeah, they're beautiful. But did you know that they bloom year-round? I narrow my eyes. What do you mean? That's impossible. They're cherry blossoms. I know, but these are special. They were genetically engineered to be able to bloom at any time, especially since they're in the protected area of Olympia. Oh, that's pretty cool then. 9 nods. I thought so too. But as I've stayed here, I've started to think differently. What do you mean? 9 looked so serious when I asked this that I nearly leaned back at the intensity in his eyes. Aren't cherry blossoms so loved because of their transient nature? We only have them once a year normally, so it's special. Well, yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Right? So when you take that away, you take away a lot of their beauty. Of the way they bloom so brightly before fading away. And you also take away that natural passage of time. You're taking away something humans have experienced for thousands of years. The change of seasons. Right. I suddenly remember back to what we were discussing before the cherry blossom tangent. So are you talking about the phase corridors? Exactly. Not feeling the passage of time isn't normal. It throws you off, makes everything feel artificial. I get a deep sense of homesickness from that alone. It's natural to yearn for nature and things like the change of seasons, when that's what you're used to. Yeah, you're right. It's impressive what man managed to do, but that doesn't necessarily mean it feels right. Exactly. At that moment, the bartender puts 9's drink in front of him. He pauses to take a sip.
Do you take a sip?
Yes, I do.
So that part, people like I said, people throughout the years did have like told me, people who were like 9 stands and stuff have been like, I really love that part. That's what made me like 9. I think it was like really deep and all that stuff. But like, I'm sorry to say that it wasn't actually like some really, really, really planned deep thing for me. So like going on a side tangent, but it's relevant. Using like the MBTI system, this character was originally Namjoon, like inspired by Namjoon, and I personally feel like Namjoon, even though I know he has said differently himself, I personally feel like he fits the profile of an INFJ. And INFJ is also my type. So like INFJs are known for thinking about things like really, really deeply and kind of being philosophical. So it was really easy for me to write 9 because of that, because I just made him like, you know, like it was sort of similar but sort of different. But so when I was thinking about, I was like, what should he talk about even? And I knew she had been feeling homesick or whatever, and I was just like, maybe they can talk about the corridors and like how it like feels like fake and stuff in there, and because you know it's like artificial. And then like I just really just wrote, it was just like one of those things you just write with no plan. So it wasn't like I planned the thing with the cherry blossoms and all that stuff, and it just like I just wrote and it came out like as a good thing. But yeah, like for me that kind of thinking comes naturally, I guess, like for me to think on the because one thing about INFJs is that they're and 9 himself at least is an INFJ, they think very deeply about symbolism. So they see the world in symbolism. So for 9, he just sees everything in symbolism. He sees the cherry blossoms, we think about what they mean, and the corridors, the transit seasons, all that stuff. So that's the reason why 9 kind of like goes on some tangents from time to time. And for me it's like when I write 9, it's more like I just have to take my limiter off because I try not to do that. Like I try not to do that in regular conversation. But for 9, he doesn't have any kind of idea of like not to do that. He doesn't. He's like, why should I? Like it's not even occurred to him why he shouldn't go off on like, you know, deep philosophical tangents. For me, I found that most people just have no idea what the heck you're talking about, and it can make you feel lonelier. So I just decided not to do that. But so that's my little tangent about that conversation with 9. And that's why he's like, sorry, I didn't mean to ramble, because he is at least a little bit aware of his tendency to go off.
No, it's quite all right. It made me think. Thank you. For sharing your thoughts, I mean. 9 nods and smiles again before taking another sip of his drink. Changing the topic, we talk a little more about my phase education and about the team before 9 has to leave. But when he does, I'm left with a feeling I hadn't had since I stepped into phase. A strange sense of peace. Alright, it's 4 time.
Yeah, we're at 28 or something like that minutes, and I thought about stopping, but it's just 1 left.
Yeah, it's just 1 left.
And so I want to get on to phase 3, so let's do force.
After some short introductions with the staff today, and a really nice dinner in the cafeteria, I was pointed towards the lounge by someone.
We got like hip hop.
Whatever I was expecting when I heard the word lounge is certainly not this. Everything in phase is so luxurious. It's going to take some time to get used to it.
So like chronologically, this happened before 9's, because she was like, oh, I can't get used to this.
Yeah. Alright, I can't remember a single moment in my life before I was anywhere this nice. I walked towards the bar and carefully taken my surroundings. From the flooring to the interior decoration and even the view through the windows. Everything about this place feels supremely high class. No, wandering the wastelands definitely didn't offer any opportunities for this kind of luxury. I stopped next to the bar and looked down at the menu screen. As I start to scroll through it, one thing becomes very clear. All of these drinks sound so unfamiliar. And there's no prices either. Ugh. Does this mean it's free, or is it that no one around here cares about the price of something? I'd sigh and plop myself down on a bar stool. After poking around on the menu, I order a drink, something I'm vaguely sure I know. With nothing else to do but wait, I swivel around on the stool and observe the people in the lounge. It's far from empty here, but there's one particular corner that seems to be left alone completely.
You have to think about how outgoing 7 is. That she just swiveled around in a bar and just stared at people like, huh.
just like,
While not knowing the drinks, while not being familiar, not being comfortable, she's just so extroverted.
It's far from...
Oh, sorry, I thought you read that.
It looks like such a good spot, though. Here's your order, operative. Ah! The voice suddenly speaks, so suddenly, in fact, that I nearly jump off the bar stool. 7, you gotta, like, up your awareness a little bit. Like, stop being like me. Like, you're supposed to be higher than that. I spin around to face the bartender with a sheepish smile. Please pretend like you didn't see that. The bartender only smiles back at me as she places her order for— oh, it's a girl, so here's your order, operative. She gives me a little nod and walks away, leaving me all by myself. I look down at my drink.
Gender equality in bartending.
Huh? So I guess it's free? Either that or they're gonna take it out of my wages. Alright. I could try and call the bartender back and ask, but I feel that it's something I could find out later.
Yeah, you get a bill at the end of the month about like when it's like you get your paycheck, you know, you get deductions.
I had a feeling it was gonna be like that.
Yeah, it's not free.
Yeah. Though it's not immediately apparent, I can feel people throwing me curious glances as they talk.
It is discounted though. Like, you know, you get it's like so you'd see like phase operative minus like 25% or 30%. You like employee discount.
So employee discount. I can't hear what they're saying, but I can guess. I imagine it's not every day that someone new joins phase as an operative instead of a trainee. Even if their curiosity is understandable, that doesn't mean I have any desire to be stared at like that. At least they're not all pointing and laughing at me, yelling, "Get out, you dirty drifter." All I want is a quiet moment with a drink in some dark corner without all the eyes on me. I grab my drink and head for the quiet corner that everyone seems to avoid. Wait, your awareness. Your awareness levels. The gossipers all quiet down to stare at me before quickly turning away for good. They're like,
I feel like, yo, what is with this corner? Is something like, you know.
I would have investigated.
I would, yeah, exactly.
Instead of, yeah, I would have been like,
over.
She's like, huh? Oh, now they stop. Whatever.
I didn't write this scene just as a random thing. Like, it was our former writer that wrote it.
I set my drink on the table and sit down, only to sit on something not quite right. Something warm and hard. I jump to my feet in an instant. I whirl around to look at whatever it is I sat down on. 4? The name slips out of my lips before I can think to stop myself. I feel many eyes on me again. Everybody was like this, now they're like this.
And she just yelled.
There's a sudden tension in the air, something that clearly isn't missed by the observers. The sleepy force slowly cracks his eyes open and blinks several times before finally directing his gaze at me. What are you yelling my name for? I gulp. The way he handled himself with those people in our first meeting is not something I could forget.
Murder everywhere.
Crack. Snap. He didn't feel me sit on him? I'm sorry, I was just surprised to see you here. I lose my train of thought as I stare down at him just laying there. Why are you sleeping out here? He takes a slow, deep breath and pushes himself up into a sitting position. He tosses his hair a bit and looks up at me with sleepy eyes. I was tired. This is closer. I guess that explains why everyone was avoiding this corner. He stares at me without uttering a word. Should I just grab my drink and go somewhere else? He blinks slowly, as if chasing away the post-nap haze. You. I inhale sharply. Oh no, he's gonna say something about me sitting on him. I should apologize. I'm 7 now, right? Oh, so you already know. You moved your way up fast. We'll see how you do. Don't think I didn't realize you sat on me earlier, though. Of course. I'm sorry, I just didn't see you there. Examine your surroundings properly next time. If you're that inattentive, you might miss something crucial in a mission and get yourself or someone else killed.
Once again, this is not a hint towards him having some, like, detective story where he had a partner that got killed because he was inattentive one time. He's literally just efficient. Work.
He's just very, very efficient.
Professional.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. His words remind me of what he said to Zero back then in the abandoned church. Force slowly stands up and starts to walk off, only to stop right next to me. He looks down at me with a strange look in his eyes, something I can't quite place. Welcome to Phantom Alpha 7.
I don't know what the look is, because I didn't write the scene, so I don't know.
I don't know either.
Thirst? I don't know.
He nods to himself and walks away without another word, leaving me to stare at his retreating back. Almost there. I'm not entirely sure what to make of him, but was he trying to look out for me? I plop myself down in For's abandoned spot and grab my drink. Whatever I thought before, It seems that me accepting Faze's offer will definitely prove to be interesting. I'm nervous about meeting the rest of the team, but for now, I sit back and relax, enjoying my drink with a name that I can't recall.
So, alright, so that scene. There is an extra line in there. If you shake Forrest's hand in the church, he gives you a handshake. Because I think he refuses to shake your hand until you pass.
Okay, yeah.
He's I'll shake your hand next time. So he actually gives it to you. But we chose 0 last time, so we didn't get that. We didn't get that scene, but it is in there. So, okay, so we're all done. We have phase 3 next time, which is when shit gets real.
It's really real.
Like, it's so long. I think it like goes into chapter 1 too. Also, like phase 3 itself isn't that long, but then chapter 1, like it goes all the way up to the meeting high priestess, so, like phase 3. Yeah. So it's like pretty long. So I don't know if we'll get through it all in one sitting, but we're gonna keep going. You guys, please leave comments letting us know which route to take, and letting us know if you're enjoying these or if there's anything you want to see or know about. And please don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from us. So thank you for watching.
Bye guys. See you next time.